All right, so today I'm going to talk with you about how to quickly lose body fat permanently. And this is the first time that I'm releasing this publicly. I've been using this method with my clients, and that's how I've helped transform thousands of people's lives, helping people lose hundreds of pounds, all the way from 20 pounds, eliminate diabetes, increase energy, overall strength and body mass, just literally transforming people's lives. And so I wanted to take what works that I've been using day in and day out on my own body and my clients' bodies and release this to the public. So I am really excited to share with you the three secrets on how to lose body fat quickly and permanently. So it comes down to doing it the right way. So there's kind of two ways to approach this. One is the traditional way where you focus on fat loss first. And that's why people, when they do like fad diets or do cardio, they just like snap back and burn and gain the weight again, okay? Because what this does is you're decreasing calories, which makes your mental health go crazy, like you have no energy, you don't feel good, you're depriving yourself of all the foods that you love and enjoy. You lose muscle and it damages your metabolism, okay? And that's why you gain the weight back after a diet or after you're done doing cardio, because your body gains fat as a protection mechanism against, restrictive calorie diets. And then what happens is because you're damaging your metabolism, it gets harder and harder to lose the weight over time. So what diet might have worked for you once in the past doesn't work. It only works a little bit or doesn't work at all anymore. And then diets eventually don't even work at all. Okay. Now, what's the other option? Well, the other option is to do what I call superhuman first. Okay. So instead of focusing on fat loss, you're focusing on what you want, right? Which is to become superhuman, to become a person, a human being who has limitless energy, strong, lean muscle, a metabolism that works 24/7, so you just burn fat automatically, and you're just able to look, feel, and move the way you want. Okay, and that's what I call being superhuman, right? So, and because you're focusing on health and vitality first, right? You lose fat as a consequence. Okay, it's not like the main focus. It's the result of focusing on the habits, the identity, the lifestyle that you want. Okay, versus if you focus on kind of like the quick fix approach, the fat loss first approach, you'll lose fat, but then you're ruining your metabolism, you're destroying your body, and you're doing tactics that are just unhealthy for you. Okay, and we'll get into more later, but fad diets don't work. Cardio doesn't work. In fact, I tell people that they should only do cardio if they hate their body, they hate themselves, and they hate their life. All right. There's much better ways to get results faster that actually are good for you. All right. So it comes down to focusing on what you want and not focusing on what you don't want. So burning fat, even though you think like burning fat is what you what you want, it's actually still focusing on the problem, which is fat. So what you want is vibrant health, energy, vitality, and strength. All right? And that's what I call being superhuman. So focus on being superhuman. So let's start off with what causes fat gain. All right? So it comes down to not just your metabolism, but your energy expenditure. All right? Which is literally everything that is entailed in your body burning energy, okay? And on your energy intake. So it's intake versus outtake. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but obviously if you are intaking is a lot more simpler than the outtake, all right? So energy intake is just literally anything that goes in your mouth, whether it's a liquid, solid food, anything that comes in your mouth is an intake, all right? So if your intake is higher than your output, then you're gonna gain weight. If your output is higher than your intake, you're going to lose weight. If they're equal, you're going to sustain your weight. It becomes stable. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about this later, but there is a way to have unlimited intake and be able to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, kind of like Michael Phelps when he was training for the Olympics, when he was burning 10,000 calories a day. He couldn't keep weight on, so he had to continue to eat more and more and more and more. And that's what we'll talk about later. But the other variable to this is your energy expenditure, and it's physical activity. That's burning calories in the moment. Like if you go and work out for an hour or 15 minutes, you're burning calories while you're moving, right? Physical activity, your workouts. Your resting metabolic rate, just how many calories you burn just existing while you're sleeping, while you're sitting, working on a computer, just your resting metabolic rate, okay? TEF is a thermic effect of food. So like cruciferous vegetables, we'll get into more of that later, but cruciferous vegetables burn more calories digesting and absorbing the nutrients than they do intaking. So there's actually foods you can eat that will cause you to lose, burn more calories by actually eating more of them, okay? So that's what causes, fat gain, is your intake being higher than your output, all right? So the next question is like, well, if this is how I gain fat, well, how do I lose it? How do I burn fat? And what it comes down to is when you have fat stored on your body, when your muscles are needing the energy, it gets converted into the bloodstream and shuttles it to the muscles where the energy is needed the most. Okay, it gets converted into glycogen, which is what your body then uses to burn muscles. So, this is a common kind of misconception is people think that cardio burns fat. It's actually muscles burn fat. Okay, and your muscles get more and more efficient. And they store more glucose and they burn glucose faster. The bigger that they get, the stronger they get, and the more efficiently they're being used. Okay, they get more efficient at converting glucose, using glucose for energy, and as blood flow increases, more and more is delivered to the muscles that need them. Okay, so your muscles get more efficient at burning fat. The more you use them, the more it happens. Now, sometimes, like during some cardio, like a little bit of muscles get used. But why would you use the muscles a little bit when you can just focus on using your muscles as the primary source of the workout, which is what weight training is? And that's why I tell people you should literally never do cardio unless you hate your body, yourself, and your life. And probably even if you like hate the environment and your planet, you should do cardio because it's bad for probably the planet as well. So if you do cardio, it's going to cause you to burn muscle. It's going to slow your metabolism down as you burn muscle. It's bad for your joints. It's bad for your posture. It's literally so hard on your body. And the only reason you're doing it is probably just to burn some calories, okay? You can burn calories a lot more efficiently, which is through strength training and using your muscles. And that's what we're going to talk about later today. And another thing people ask me about is like, how do I burn, fat? Like if muscle burns fat, well, what about fat burners, energy enhancers, appetite suppressants, testosterone enhancers? The only way to burn fat is your muscle. Okay, there's no other way. All right? No other substantial way. That makes a big difference. All right? So, all those things, they might help your muscle burn fat a little bit faster, but if you don't have any muscle, if you're just only doing cardio all day long, they won't really help. Okay? Because muscle is the driving force behind your fat loss. All right? So, if you're building muscle, then sure, those things might help you get a little bit faster results, but only if you're building muscle first, okay? Those things without muscle aren't going to do you any good. So that leads you, that leads you to the 3 steps of rapid sustainable fat loss, and this is the method that I use on my clients to help them achieve the transformations that I do that you can find on my website. And this is called the Superhuman Health-Focused Approach, okay? Superhuman method, 3 steps, okay? It's increasing sustainable energy because without energy, there's no life, right? You need energy to function. You need energy for your workouts. You need energy for your work. You need energy for your family. You need to optimize your plan around you having ultimate energy to do the things you want to do in your life, including your workouts, including your work, including your family. All the things that you want to do throughout the day require energy. So that's number 1. Number 2, increase your metabolism, okay? The higher your metabolism is, this allows you to have an unlimited intake, all right? So you can burn calories literally while you sleep. And then the third thing is increase your strength. Your plan needs to increase your body's vitality, strength, resilience, so that way you don't get injured, you have the physical freedom to do the things you want to do, and because you have more muscle, which equals strength, you'll be losing fat as a consequence of your superhuman health, And you need all three of these things, okay? So let's go to number one, secret number one, how to unlock sustainable energy, okay? And it comes down to the glycemic index. Now, calories are energy, but certain calories have, there are calorie rich, there's nutrient rich calories and nutrient poor calories, okay? So that's a little bit different than the glycemic index. Glycemic index has to do with the calories and how they affect your blood sugar, okay? Now, there are foods that we already know how they affect your blood sugar, and it's determined based on your glycemic index. And it can get more complicated, like, yeah, combining foods with other foods definitely affects your glycemic index as well. Such as fats don't really have a big effect on your glycemic index. And proteins have a huge effect on your glycemic index. It really lowers them a lot, which is why they're so good. It keeps you feeling full longer, and you need it for muscle anyway. So glycemic index, think of it this way. If you take in like white bread, which is 100, which is very high in the glycemic, so 70 plus bad, 55 down good, 56 to 69 is okay, right? So white bread's 100, so it's bad. It's gonna really spike your insulin. It's gonna be over here like in this blue. Sugar, that's why sugar's so bad. It gives you energy right away. You feel amazing, and then like less than an hour later, you crash. Energy's gone, okay? And it spikes your insulin, spikes your body's gonna store body fat. And this is what diabetics have to really be careful of, is monitoring their glucose levels. Now they actually have a thing that will test their blood to see, but in general, we already know the foods that will spike and cause your body to go high on the glucose, all right? So that's how you unlock sustainable energy, is by eating low glycemic index foods. You can Google glycemic index, and you'll find a chart just like this with all the foods, all the numbers of the glycemic index. The lower, the better. Less than 55 is ideal, okay? So that's how you unlock unstable energy, is by eating foods that give you energy in a sustainable way without making you crash and store body fat, okay? The next thing is, we don't want just sustainable energy, we want more energy, okay? How do we get more energy expenditure, okay? We want to burn more energy at a faster rate, all right? So if you look at the daily expenditure of your body, there's resting and non-resting. Exercise only burns like 5% of all the energy of your entire day, okay? And that's why going and doing cardio isn't going to work, because that's actually going to destroy your muscle mass, which is actually the biggest part of your day, the resting part of it. So physical exercise, weightlifting, it's going to burn calories. That's awesome. We want to burn calories. We need movement. The second is the calories you burn digesting food. It can be like 10 to 15%, the thermic effect of food, TEF. And I'm going to show you the different kinds of food that you should be eating. Would be like cruciferous vegetables, cauliflower, green beans, kale, spinach, green beans, Brussels sprouts, asparagus. The more you can eat foods that are thermogenic, the more you're going to be able to eat those foods and actually burn more calories than you're intaking. And it's like taking a multivitamin. Like, you need those foods anyways. It's better than a multivitamin because it's fresh food, okay? So that's number two. The second way on how you can burn more calories is eating foods that are thermogenic, okay? Now the next one, the third one, the biggest amount of calories that you burn throughout the day is the calories that you burn just being you. So while you're sleeping, while you're sitting there in the chair on the computer, while you're literally just doing nothing, while you're driving home, you're burning calories, okay? So when you have more muscle mass, you burn more calories 24/7 without doing anything different, okay? And that's the goal here, is to be able to burn more calories so you can eat whatever you want whenever you want to, all right? And I'm going to show you how to do that later on. So that's secret number two on how to burn more calories without really doing anything, by increasing the thermogenic effect of food, increasing your muscle mass, and then doing exercise that burns more calories, like weightlifting, okay? Not cardio. Only do cardio if you hate yourself, your body, and your life, and other people, okay? So weightlifting is awesome because it has an afterburn effect that burns more calories on top of the calories that you burn doing the exercise. I'll explain that in even greater detail. So the third secret is how to burn calories and fat while you sleep. All right. So this is what I was talking about when I said when you do weightlifting, it creates excess post-oxygen consumption, okay, which is a short afterburn effect, which is called EPOC. So it burns about 15 more calories for up to 48 hours. Okay, so you burn the calories while you're working out for that period of time, 15 minutes to an hour, right? Let's say you worked out for an hour. Then in addition to that, it's going to burn 15% more calories for the next 48 hours. And then because you're building muscle, let's say you built 10 pounds of muscle, you're going to burn an extra 700 calories a week. Okay, so you're burning calories 3 times with one workout. Okay, versus cardio actually ruins your metabolism. So you burn some calories, but then you lose the results of that because you lost muscle during that workout. All right, so building muscle is going to give you an ROI on your workouts. It's going to give you a return on your investment. You're going to be building muscle. Plus, muscle is what sculpts the body. It's what shapes it. It's what makes you look good. It's what makes you feel amazing, gives you curves. You're going to look good. You're going to feel amazing. And you'll have the strength to be able to do the things you want to do, whether it's play with your grandkids, whether it's hike the Grand Canyon, snowboard, ski, like whatever wakeboard on the boat, whatever you want to do, you'll have the physical ability, stamina, strength to be able to do it with that muscle. Plus, you'll be burning calories while you sleep. Okay? And that's how you are able to burn calories while you sleep, kind of like making money while you sleep by doing workouts that give you an ROI instead of just, if it was the money terms, you'd be, working for your money versus making money work for you. Okay, this is how you make money work for you, is by doing workouts that actually give you an ROI. So you're like, what kind of diet do I do? If I can't do cardio, if I'm not supposed to diet, let me give you an example of a couple. This is yo-yo dieting. This is why it doesn't work. So you start off, you reduce your calories, you diet yourself, and then what happens is your metabolism drops. You drop your metabolism, you lose some weight, but you also lose muscle. You destroy your metabolism, and then after a while you stop doing it and you get all the way back. You actually gain more weight because your metabolism's lower than it was before. Now you gain more weight than you had before, okay, eating the same amount of calories. Then you go on a diet again, so you drop even lower. You drop your calories even lower than you did before. You drop some weight, but not as much as you did before, and then you gain it all back. So it's a cycle of dieting, yo-yo dieting. So you lose weight, you gain even more weight back, and then it stops working, and then pretty much eventually they don't even work at all. Okay, that's because you're killing your body. You're sucking the nutrients out. You're sucking the life out of your body when you're restricting nutrients. Your body needs nutrients to be healthy and vibrant and build muscle. Okay, so reverse dieting is more what we're talking about. Okay, so instead of doing all this restrictive dieting, we're gonna think like how can I burn as many calories as possible so that I'm not even able to eat enough to keep up. Okay, and then you'll lose weight automatically without even restricting yourself. You'll eat everything that you want and you'll still lose weight. Imagine that. Okay, that's what's called reverse dieting, and that's part of what it is to be superhuman. So instead of dieting, we actually just start to build lean muscle mass first. As you build lean muscle mass first, you can actually eat more and more and more. Okay, your weight stays the same and will go down because you'll be building so much muscle that the burn rate will be so high, your expenditure will be so high. Think Michael Phelps burning 10,000 calories a day. You can't even eat 10,000 calories a day if you tried. Okay, it's really hard. So we're not going to be burned. That's an extreme example of what I'm talking about, but that's the point here. Increase your muscle mass, increase your calorie burn instead of reducing your calorie intake. All right? And that's what it's called. That's how you can have no limits. Okay, so I want you to imagine right now, imagine a day where you could eat whatever you wanted to, whenever you wanted it. All of your favorite foods, anything you wanted, alcohol, food, and not gain weight. In fact, you're going to lose weight because your burn rate is so high. You can't even eat enough of the foods that you enjoy, and you're going to lose all of your body fat without you even trying. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you're able to eat whatever you want, whenever you want to. Have no limits on what you're eating, no tracking, no diets, no macros, instead of doing restricted food and calories. Okay, so, and that's what I call the superhuman diet. Okay, you call this the superhuman method, superhuman anti-diet. It's pretty much the opposite of a diet. Okay, stage one is so there's step one, which is like a fast diet, right? Then you might have like a slow diet. I'm not talking about either one of those. I'm talking about a superhuman anti-diet, where instead of dieting at all, you build more muscle. And then by building muscle, you're going to drop the fat because the muscle is going to overpower the fat. All right? Overpower your calorie intake. So stage one is building lean muscle. Okay? Stage two is when you have enough muscle, when your metabolism is so high, it's through the roof, you start to lose fat automatically because you can't even eat enough to keep up with it. Okay? And then stage three, it is sustain lean muscle. All right? So when you sustain the lean muscle, this is how you maintain it long term. This is how you maintain your ability to eat whatever you want, whenever you want to, for the rest of your life. All right? So I hope that helps. Those are my 3 secrets to losing sustainable weight, is by unlocking sustainable energy, increasing your energy burn, and building lean muscle so you can burn calories while you sleep. All right? Without having any limits on what you eat, so you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want to. And that's how you become superhuman.